What's up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel, and whichever platforms you're listening to this on. I want to let you know I really do appreciate you. Thank you for being a subscriber. If you are not subscribed yet, please do go ahead and subscribe. And if you are listening to this on YouTube while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. So let's get into this conversation/reality chat. Guys, I listened to the interview that Martell did with Carlosking on his podcast YouTube channel, and I'm just going to play this clip because honestly it really was much of nothing. It's the same old when it comes to Martell not really taking much accountability and wanting to spin this narrative that he was the doting father and he's the one that's just always there for the children. And it really isn't adding up. I'm not saying that he's a terrible father. I know some people have said that. I don't believe that he was the best father, in my personal opinion, just based on the way that he's treated his mom. And I'm not saying that his children don't love him. I believe that they really, really do. But I believe that a lot of his actions and a lot of the things that he's saying, it's going to turn around and bite him in the end because children, they see a lot. They don't sometimes say a whole lot. Sometimes they take the things in and they observe. And then when they get to an age where they can make their own decisions, then they start backing away. And I would not be surprised if that happens to him because it's just a lot when it comes to his actions, and actions speak a whole lot louder than words. But I'm going to play this clip real quick, and then I'm going to continue with my conversation.
All right, rain drops. So finally, I got the man, the myth in the building. Yes, I am talking about the Martel.
I kind of find it funny that he said the man and the myth. You know, we know myths are untruths. They're lies. And yeah, he definitely is a liar. So he should have said, we have the man, the liar, Martel Holt. Anyway, let me go ahead and continue.
What's up? Thank you for having me, Carlos. Now, look, you don't do a lot of interviews, so I'm happy you decided to come on Reality with the King. I've had everyone on last season. Martell turned me down and said, no, he's not doing it. So I'm happy that this season you decided to chat with me. So what made you say yes this time?
To be honest, you paid me last week, so I'm down for it. Let's go.
Oh, you know you're paying everybody. So you're paying me, so y'all here. But no. I feel it's only right. I feel it's only right for me to jump on here with you. You know, you're doing a great job with the show, and I'm a part of the show. And whatever you guys need, I think it's only right for me to jump on and put it out there, whatever it is. Reality TV, Reality with the King. Let's go. Well, let's go. So we have a lot to get to tonight. Obviously, we just saw the episode of LAMH Huntsville. We'll get into that. We'll also get into your groundbreaking appearance on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So we have a lot of ground to cover tonight. But first and foremost, let's just talk about you. Obviously, I'm asking everybody on the cast as I do these interviews, how does it feel to know that you are part of the #1 show on Oprah Winfrey's network? And if you ever saw this coming?
Well, I definitely didn't see it coming. And then two, I mean, it feels good to be a part of anything that you can say #1, you know? Because it is takes commitment, dedication, and being loyal to something, you know?
All right, you heard that. And he's just so full of crap because he doesn't have commitment. He doesn't have dedication. And for him to say being loyal to something, if you watched it, he did the little air quotes in the air because he really knows nothing about loyalty. Absolutely nothing at all. That has not been the way that he's lived his life. And for him to say he didn't expect it, he really didn't expect it. He didn't deserve it because when you listen to this interview, you hear him speak about spinning this narrative again about how he retired himself and Melody from the jobs that they had previously. And he said he asked her what she wanted to do, and she said she wanted to be on TV. So you mean to tell me that you're the one that made that happen? You're the one that made her into a reality star, is what you're trying to say? And you had to file for personal bankruptcy, and nothing that you have done has been successful on your own. Like, he tried to blame others for his businesses that he's tried to launch failing. And at the end of the interview, he speaks about how he's working with someone else on a suit line. And, you know, it's kind of funny to me. I had to start laughing because I've spoken about his rented suits. Even with him partnering up with someone else to do this suits line, to be honest with you, I don't know anything about the person that he's partnering up with. I don't think that it's a smart idea. And here's what I will say. Okay. I don't believe it's a smart idea for that other person because Martell is just bad for business. He's bad for branding. And he wanted to blame other people for why his businesses have not been successful instead of looking at his own actions, because he says he doesn't care what people says about him. The only thing that he cares about and makes him angry is the fact that it's affected his money. He does not take personal accountability and responsibility for anything, so it's always someone else's fault. It's going to be the fault of the people who really are fans of Melody, the people who call themselves Mellometers, and the people who support her and who are on her side when it comes to the fallout of the marriage and the custody battle that he ignited. He was the one that started it. And so it's their fault as to why he hasn't been successful. Well, if you have that many people supporting you, it really shouldn't matter about the people who don't support you and the people who don't like you. And that's the thing that he's not seeing. He isn't marketable. He isn't. And him being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is just, you know, it's just garbage, PR stunts. It's not a real relationship. And again, his own actions have been the talk of the past two, the first two, I should say, but now past because they've already aired episodes of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That has been the main discussion. His actions with him sending DMs to Kenya Moore, whether it was real or fake, his actions when it came to the way he spoke to Kenya, his actions when he was at Sheree's house and he was speaking negatively about Candy and Todd, his actions when he was at the birthday party and Todd said that he was cheesing up in his face, but then found out that he was talking about him and his wife behind their backs. So, you know, it's his actions. He doesn't take accountability for anything, but he wants to blame other people for why his businesses have not succeeded and prospered. He's bad for business. He's bad for branding. I don't think that he will ever see that. And someone like Carlos King, who's just gassing his head up because Carlos, I believe, really likes him, he's not being honest with him. Even on that last reunion episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, when Carlos was crying tears, speaking to Martel, telling him these things about, you know, you just won't admit that you miss your family. You like, that's your family. You miss your wife. You miss your family. And Martel's sitting there with this stoic, cold, hard face. This man is unfeeling and uncaring. He only cares about himself. Okay. And Carlos speaking with him, and it's kind of funny. I don't think that Martel was lying when he said that, well, everyone last season did an interview with me except you. You turned me down. And he said, so now you're doing an interview with me. And Martel says, yeah, because now you paid me. I actually don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I believe him, you know, because I heard that Martel, he put something out there I don't know if it was on his bio on Instagram or where it was. I don't follow him, but basically saying that he wasn't doing any interviews with anyone unless they paid him whatever his fee was. I think it was maybe like $3,000 or $2,000. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I guess people weren't really wanting to pay him, except for that panel discussion that he did that I actually am going to be speaking about. I haven't had an opportunity to do that one yet, but when it comes to him spinning this narrative that it's everyone else's fault, that his businesses have failed, Melody was held in contempt of court, which I don't believe that. He's spinning these narratives and using these words that are not true. It was stated that the judge in the ruling mentioned about Melody possibly making the co-parenting situation, not easy or difficult or whatever the wording was. I don't have the court order in front of me, so I can't say explicitly what the wording was. She wasn't held in contempt of court. That's completely different. To be held in contempt of court versus having a mention about you in a court order is not the same thing. So he is making it seem like Melody was reprimanded by the court and held in contempt, because to be held in contempt usually means that you are fined, or worse, you're put in jail for a period of time. Okay, so that did not happen. That's actually a lie, but we already know how he does. And he also tried to make it seem like it is because of him that Melody is in the place that she is in, because he retired them both from working. How do you retire? Like, what? Okay, whatever. How do you retire this woman from working, but yet you haven't been able to be successful on your own, and you had to file personal bankruptcy? Again, skirting away from your responsibilities and not just trying to work something out with the creditors to pay back what you owe, making the money, doing the work, and getting these people paid. No, you just wanted to get out of it all. Bankruptcy is there for a reason. I personally believe that if you owe the money, work with the people and get the stuff paid, even if they are going to accept less than what you owe. At least you're working something out versus just going to the court and saying, I don't want to pay any of these fools, so wipe it all out. You're running away from your responsibilities. He's not a real man. In my opinion, I do not believe that he is. But for him to sit and have this conversation with Carlos, I mean, I was just kind of rolling my eyes the entire time. It was really hard to listen to him, as it usually is, because there's always going to be something spun to try to make it look like it is in his favor. He says everyone loves him. He said he has his kids every weekend. He's always there to support his children. But yet on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Sheree said that he's there every weekend. So who's telling the truth? Or maybe they're both lying, which we know both of them do. So I don't even believe that. How do you have the kids every weekend when you both have joint custody and Melody has absolutely nothing to do with you? I just believe that he is just going to continue to do this until the end of time, or until the kids are of age where they don't have to deal with each other anymore. And I know Melody is cherishing the moments that she has with the children at the ages that they are, but to be honest with you, I'm sure she will not be upset when they are all over the age of being a minor and she doesn't have to deal with their father anymore. I know she just really can't wait, because to continuously have this man spin things around and make it seem like she is the one that is the drama, it's crazy. It's crazy. We saw how he was on this last episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, where he's screaming at Melody and in Melody's mother's face, as well as another woman that was right there. I don't know who that woman was. He just, if it was about the children, like he likes to say, why are you there putting on a scene like that? And then when she reached out to him after the party, which she had it on record, and I don't blame her. People like that, you have to have proof, because they're always going to say you're a liar. He said he wasn't going to get the kids until Monday. So if it was that important, you wouldn't have put on a scene like that at the birthday party. You would have just, left, even if you felt like it was wrong. Be the bigger person like you always claim that you are, but that you never act like you are. And then get the kids like you say you were going to do after the party. Or if you didn't want that, just tell Melody, no, I'm good. I'll just wait until the weekend is over and I'll get them on Monday. Instead of her reaching out to him to keep her word. Like she said, you can have the kids after the party is over and you can celebrate them on their birthday. Is that okay with you? If he didn't want that, he could have just rejected it then and there. So it was about him making a scene. That's why I cannot get with the thing about people saying, oh, he's an amazing father. Amazing fathers don't do stuff like that. That to me was just creepy and scary. And to have your children see you acting like that, but that's par for the course for him. I'm quite sure that there were a lot of moments in the house when they were together that they saw daddy acting out in that way. So for them, it's probably normal at this point. Not saying it should ever be normal, but they're used to it. They're used to it. And I'll never forget when they had that counseling session. It was several seasons ago with Melody and the kids. And the son said that he wants to see mommy smile. He's, tired of seeing mommy cry. And I'll never forget that. I am not a millimeter, but I don't have to be one to have a heart and to feel empathy in that moment. And at that moment in time, that is what led me to believe that man definitely has been at least verbally abusive. He definitely has been emotionally abusive. Emotional abuse is to tell a woman that is your wife that you're not satisfying my needs sexually. I'm going to go out here and get something outside of the house and do it. And also get this woman pregnant several times. That's emotional abuse, period. So spare me with he's a great father, he's a great man, and it just didn't work out with Melody. People need to get over it. The marriage has been over for several years. She's the one that filed for divorce, but he's continuously putting her through the ringer, and he's continuously trying to put her in this bad light. All Melody is doing is just pretty much responding to what he's doing. And that is the part that just irritates me when people try to make her out to be the bad guy. I don't have to be a millimeter, a stand girl or stand boy or whatever for Melody to see that she is responding to his actions, and not to absolutely everything. I will admit, I don't agree with everything that she has said and done, but I can't say how someone should act. I might not agree with it, but when you are going through it, sometimes you lash out in different ways. I may not have agreed with them having the back and forth on social media when they were doing that during one time, I believe it was maybe last year, where it was a lot of Instagram stories that were being put out there when she was just kind of spilling her mind and speaking her piece in the situation with regards to him and the kids. But again, I may not have agreed with it, but I understood because it was in response to things that he was saying and doing, putting the kids on camera and trying to blast their mom. And you are out here calling your mom, not your mom. He's out here calling their mother, the woman that he was married to for many years, a 304. Like, who does that? You were married to this woman. I don't care if he was never married to her, but you're out here and you're blasting their mother and calling her a derogatory name. So you're saying that about these children that you love so much. You're saying that about their mother. And when she was trying to call him out on him, trying to get back with her, oh, you've been with too many men for me to want to be with you. And, like, it was, and first of all, it's lies, but two, it's just to make her look bad and to say disparaging things about her on camera. That's what he wants to do. He wants to destroy her image. And so Listen, guys, listening to that, it was like going through a wind tunnel. It was just a bunch of bull crap. You can listen to it. I'll put the link to it in the description box if you have not listened to it yet. But to hear him say at the very beginning, you know, it's good to be loyal to something. He doesn't know what loyalty is. And maybe he feels like him being a regular on the show is some redemption tour of proving that he can be loyal. I wasn't able to be loyal to my wife, but I'll be loyal to being a reality TV star, so I'm going to show up for that. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to talk about that and share my thoughts on it. You can let me know yours in the comment section below. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.